Mr. Complain McGee here, back with another complaining time. All right, let me mute myself. Classic. We are not going to be playing Black Ops Cold War. I thought we were going to. Apparently, we're not going to. I was going to make the title of this stream bitching about Call of Duty Cold War, but apparently you can't have the word bitching in your title, which understandable, I guess. Fair enough. But yeah, this is going to be rant time because this is fucking stupid, very dumb. Hate it. Um, So let's take a look at this, right? I install the game fully. This was, hey, I wanted to stream it. So it was ready, it was installed. I told it like choose whatever the hell first, right? So this would have been what? This would have been like, earlier yesterday, probably like 8 o'clock, whatever, right? Because I had planned it for that. But no, you have to actually get in the game and do that. But it doesn't actually register anything with servers until you have your update downloaded, like the actual update file. Well, I didn't have the update downloaded because they wanted me to have another extra 90 gigabytes free of storage. So I finally just said, fuck it. I deleted Warzone, to make room. And so, I had to sit there for 5 hours letting this fucking stupid update go. And so the update goes, whatever. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Well, guess what? I get into the game then after that. And what happens? What happens? Well, you get in and it's like, oh, download this texture pack. So I had downloaded this stupid fucking texture pack. And then I still can't do campaign. Why can't I do campaign? Well, this is the reason why you can't do campaign. Because the campaign is an add-on. The campaign is a DLC and there's two parts for it. And they're both about 20, like this one says 30 gigs, but I think it was actually about like 20. But anyway, at least the first one was definitely 20. So like that's like 50 gigs extra they want you to do on top of the texture pack, on top of the 150 gigabyte update, on top of the fucking size of the original game, which was like 70 or something. I'm already at 214 gigabytes for this stupid fucking game. And yet they still are like, "Hey, yeah, you should do? You should definitely do? You should make more room to download your shit." So no, no, fuck you. First of all, I should have been able. The only thing I should have had to do here, which yeah, I mean, by the way, if you look at like in terms of like size of what I have, there's not really like a bunch of huge games I have on here. I mean, GTA is obviously a big one, but that's in Hitman 3, but like that's pretty much it. Like Fortnite is medium size, and everything below that's pretty small size comparatively. And some of these are like tiny. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna delete like fucking Undertale because it's only 300 megabytes. That's a drop in the bucket. Doesn't matter. So yeah, so it's like you want me to sit there and delete stuff. And even before I deleted Warzone, I went out of my way and deleted a bunch of clips, like a bunch of videos I had saved and a bunch of screenshots I had saved to try to like take it off room. So it's like I've already went through all those. So no, I shouldn't have to delete literally half my fucking storage on my console to play a story mode for a fucking Call of Duty game. Like I understand Call of Duty is super multiplayer oriented, but the campaign should have been on the disc. The campaign not being on the disc, like why the fuck did you even make a campaign? What a waste. What an absolute fucking waste. And I was really excited to play this. But no, I'm not gonna keep fucking just deleting more and more shit just to play like fuck you. That's a joke. Like I'm so annoyed with that. Waited all day to play this and then still like just keep asking me to do more and more and more. Like that's such a fucking lame idea. And I don't even know if I even have the zombies downloaded on this. That might be like a separate thing I have to download. I don't know. Like the multiplayer's downloaded. I know because they ask like which thing do you want to download, and so they forced it and download some of the shit too. Which is great that they want to take up all that room of shit I'm never gonna use. Multiplayer, zombies, fucking Dead Ops Arcade, whatever the fuck. Like why was campaign not an option? I remember back earlier in the fucking Call of Duty days where it was a similar thing. Hell yeah, 5 a.m. Gypsy rant. Yeah, fuck yeah. I remember back in the older Call of Duty days. Well, first of all, I remember back in the really older Call of Duty games where it was just the fucking story and nothing else. But I do remember even when it was online, I remember the thing being on the fucking disc because go figure. And then okay, and then they finally decided to start moving them. But I do remember when it was like, oh, choose what you want to download first. Do you want to download the campaign or the multiplayer or the zombies? Well, okay, you choose the campaign, and so you can play the campaign since it's offline anyway. Well, you wait for everything else to download. It's like that works. That's how a lot of people would like play the campaign because they wait for the other shit to download. Fair enough. But you're not gonna have this shit available in what universe? In what universe is that like acceptable for like a game that has a story mode? No other game would we accept that for. And I don't like it, I've had like where I haven't really touched Call of Duty in like ages, besides like a little bit of Warzone just because it was free. So it's like whatever, like price of free admission, not too hard. The last game I played in terms of Call of Duty, besides that, would have been like Advanced Warfare, like seriously, like in terms of like multiplayer. Because I ended up having like shit internet, so I didn't touch it for a bit. And then also Call of Duty got like scummier and scummier with its like business practices. Like when they released Modern Warfare, which I played a little bit of, but it's like they still wanted you to buy the map pack for Modern Warfare, the old Modern Warfare. And they charge $15 now instead of 10. It's like that should have been included in the price. What are you talking about? Why the fuck would you charge more money than what it cost back then? Like, what do you mean inflation? Like, it's digital fucking files that you already have. Like, it's not like they're not physical goods. Like, what the fuck? That's such a joke. Like shit like that, or like when they did the Infinite Warfare thing, and it was like, oh, fucking, you have to buy Infinite Warfare to get Modern Warfare, right? The remake of Modern Warfare. We're never gonna sell it separate, and then they sell it separate like a couple years later. It's like they just use that as like hostage for you to buy some fucking shitty Call of Duty game that nobody wanted to buy. And I never bought it, so like I never fell for it. But I'm sure plenty of people did. Or like and obviously people didn't like the futuristic shit. That's just more of a like stylistic choice, and there's like that's not a scummy business practice. It's just a different like stylistic choice, which I didn't like either. But like it's not really like a oh let's hold it against like big bad company. There's definitely things to criticize them for that's like better than that. Or like I don't know. I thought Ghost was pretty shitty. Like it left on like a huge cliffhanger, just like sequel bait you. I thought that was kind of lame. But then whatever, right? The only other one I've played because my dad owned it was World War II, which I played like I have like one trophy in it, I think. So I played a few rounds of zombies one time with one friend and never touched the game again. So like, yeah, I haven't touched Call of Duty since that point really. But the only time I would have touched it was like I played a little bit of like I said Warzone and DMZ because they're free. Like, I don't have to pay any money. So here I go trying to play fucking Black Ops. And because I enjoyed Black Ops 1, one of my favorite multiplayers of all time, pretty good at it, was one of the first couple multiplayers where I really just cracked out like, oh my God, I gotta play this all the time. And so, and a great story. Like I really like the multiplayer of Black Ops 2 as well, but like I didn't like the story on Black Ops 2. Except for like the past stuff, it was kind of cool. But I really love the story of Black Ops 1. And so it's like, oh, this is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. Great. Lovely. Here we go. But yeah, with all this shit, to like circle it back around, I shouldn't have to download half my fucking storage size just to play a campaign. Like, if we're gonna compartmentalize everything to where, like, oh, you have to download the multiplayer separate, you have to download the zombie separate, you have to download the campaign separate, this, that, and the other. Let me download just the campaign and call it good. Like, that's it. I shouldn't have to do all this other shit. So no, fuck you. Lick my asshole. Not doing it. Eject disc. And this is a rental. I didn't buy this game outright. This is just a GameFly rental, and we're not gonna play it. I don't give a shit. So you can go fuck yourself. Like, that's a ridiculous ask. That's an unreasonable ask. So here's instead what we're gonna do. I had promised that after I played Cold War, that what I was going to do was I was gonna start like my 100 follower like celebration thing of playing Jack 2, of trying to do a permadeath run of Jack 2 for 7 days straight, or obviously less if I got it like sooner than that, but like otherwise doing it for the 7 days. So we're just gonna start that tomorrow. I guess technically today because it's like 5 in the morning. But whatever. So fuck that. Um, it sucks because I was really stoked to play that, and yeah, I could have deleted like another game. But, like, how many fucking games do I need to fucking sit? Like, I'm not gonna like. It's such a pain in the ass to delete these other games that I do play. Like, even though I don't play Hitman as much, like whatever. But like, do you know how many fucking DLC are on Hitman where I'd have to fucking delete it, like re-download everything? Like, it's like, oh boy, I sure do want to re-download. Okay, they changed it because they made it World of Assassination, but like, I sure do love the idea of like having to fucking sit there and re-download all the fucking Hitman 2 maps, all the Hitman 1 maps, all the fucking random DLC shit. Like it would just take forever. So no, not doing that. I will check for an update though. Okay, no, we're good. Cool, cool, cool. But yeah, anyway, so that was 10 minutes of a rant. I think that was fair. I wanted to get that off my chest because that was like really fucking stupid and dumb, and I hated it. And you know, Activision can yet again go fuck itself. I'm glad to have yet another reason as to why I dislike Activision and why I actively try not to buy their games. The only game I've bought from Activision in like the past like whatever, in terms of like didn't buy used because I don't really count used sales. The only actually to be fair, even with used sales, the only used game I bought was actually what game have I bought from Activ? There's only two games I bought recently from Activision, like at all. It would have been Crash Bandicoot the trilogy because the thing is I still have my gripes with Activision, but I do love Crash so much and there was obviously a lot of love and care put into that trilogy that I wanted to be like, okay, if we're actually gonna vote with our wallets on like shit we want to see made, like this was obviously a huge passion project, a lot of care put into it. I want to see this type of content made. And then of course Crash 4 came out and I bought that as well for the same reason. I didn't need to play Crash 4, but I think that's fair. Like it's not like some soulless fucking Call of Duty bullshit. You know what I mean? Like there was definitely care put into the Crash Bandicoot games for sure. It wasn't like the fucking Wrath of Cortex kind of crash cash grabby fucking bullshit. Even though I do like that game, to be fair, people shit on that game, but I do like it. But yeah, I think that's the only Activision. Those are the only two Activision games I'm pretty sure I have. Let me take a look at it real quick here. Activision games. What do we got? I don't buy Blizzard. I know Activision is Activision Blizzard now, but there's not like one Blizzard game I think I've ever bought in my life. Also, Blizzard's pretty cringe too because of like all the fucking like the Hong Kong shit was pretty cringe with them. Um, the sexual abuse scandal shit between Activision or Blizzard. I don't know. At this point, they're the same fucking company, so I actually don't even care at this point. Like, whatever. So yeah, fun times. Um, is there a list of yeah? Show me the video games. What is the list of video games here? Why must this not work the way I need it to? I hate life. Anyway, that sounds worse than it's supposed to. Yeah, like list of Activision games. What do we got? So let's just do 2010 through 2019 because that would have been like the last time I really like actually bought like a game. Okay, Guitar Hero, Warriors of Rock. Oh, I never bought that one actually, but I did buy some Guitar Hero games to be fair. Bloodstone. I did. Do I own Bloodstone? I wonder if I do actually. I know I rented Bloodstone. I do own Bloodstone. Yeah. Okay. To be fair, uh, yeah, I do own Bloodstone. That game was a piece of shit though. To be fair. Also, a lot of these aren't going to be like developed by Activision. They're just like the publisher, which I mean, whatever. It's kind of cringe, but whatever. They still count, obviously. The GoldenEye 007 remake. That was like the first. That was really the first multiplayer I got like super into. I'm pretty sure. Let me see when Black Ops 1 came out. Black Ops 1. I need to make sure. Yeah, they both came out in 2010. So yeah, I got into GoldenEye first on the Wii. I played the fuck out of that game. Top 50 in the world type of deal. A nice Oxyaltl or whatever the fuck they're called. I never know the name of it exactly. Um, yeah, so like yeah, that would have been obviously Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 I ended up getting. I got Modern Warfare 3. I got the deluxe edition of that. It's like a little bit past that would have been around the time I started falling out with that. 007 Legends was a piece of shit that fucking killed the franchise. There hasn't been a new 007 game since that game. That's how bad it was from 2012. Only now are we getting a fucking new 007 game from the people that make the Hitman series. They're working on a new 007 game. And so we don't know any details besides that, but like I'm fucking that's actually one of the games I'm like super duper stoked for. So that has nothing to do with Activision, but that does have to do with 007. which I'm a pretty big fan of the movies and the games. Um, Besides that, like I don't, there's not really a whole lot besides like obviously I mentioned Black Ops 2. I did try Walking Dead Survival Instinct through like rental, but like I didn't actually buy it. Plus that game was a piece of shit to be fair. I did rent Ghosts, I think, or do I own it? I might own it to be fair. Yeah, I own it. That game's like I didn't like that game. I didn't like the story and the fact that they sequel baited it was like super dumb. And then so that's the last Call of Duty I ended up buying. I did try Advanced Warfare through like rental, but I didn't own it. My dad ended up buying it later on PS4, so that's a little bit different, but whatever. Yeah, like I'm just looking through a list of these, and it doesn't look like any of these other games I got because I didn't want to get Black Ops 3 because it didn't even have a story with Black Ops 3. Like, well, it did on the PS4 version, but on the PS3 version it didn't. And I was just like that's dumb and stupid. Then like all this other shit happened. The only reason I even have Modern Warfare Remastered is because it was a free game on PlayStation Plus at one point. So like that means nothing to me. Destiny 2, I guess I technically got that for free because when PlayStation bought like a share in it, like I got that a bit. I never really like I played like one time earlier this year for like one single challenge thing I was doing, and like I've never touched it since. It never will, or very likely won't anyway. And then yeah, then the Crash games in 2018. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. So I did get the Spyro game, but in my defense, let's just do the board face now. Actually, let me make sure. Yeah, in my defense, I bought it used specifically because I thought it was so fucking scummy that the game came out with a disc, and the third Spyro game wasn't even on the disc. You had to download it entirely, and like a good chunk of the second game wasn't on the disc either. That you also had to download through like the patch update thing, which is fucking horrendous. Like that's just a fucking such a shitty idea that you would have to do that for a single player game, especially when they're remakes of PS1 games. Like you can't put them on a disc. Are you insane? So yeah, I didn't want to support that, so I bought it used, which obviously doesn't put any money towards the publisher. And it doesn't matter whether or not the developer, because developers get paid based on like the work they do. They don't get like they're not getting royalties from the fucking shit. So and then yeah, so not counting Spyro, which was used, the last one I bought legitimately would have been two Crash games. But like other than the couple Call of Duty games I mentioned, I haven't like bought anything. Like even from like these past few years, like okay, Warzone was a free game. I never bought Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. I didn't like I do have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, but that's because it was a free PlayStation Plus game. Like I never bought that shit. I never bought Sekiro, although to be fair, Sekiro at least is like a fuck oh, that's only the Stadia version of Sekiro. Well, I mean, you kind of deserve to lose your money if you buy anything on Stadia, if you bought anything on Stadia. Um, Crash 4, which I mentioned, Black Ops Cold War. This is the rental, which I'm sending back. Vanguard, didn't buy it, don't care. Modern Warfare 2, didn't buy it, don't care. Crash Team Rumble, not gonna get it, don't care. Like it's a Crash game, but like it's not the type of Crash game I think I would care about. So anyway, that's whatever random rant and tangent shit aside. The point being that after Call like Activision lost me once they started moving like super futuristic, and then like that lost me on the Call of Duty franchise, and then they lost me pretty much entirely on their entire company when they started doing like super scummy practices, or at least being more blatant about their scummy practices. And so at that point, yeah, I don't really want to touch it. And this kind of like this sucks because I was finally able to like really go in and be like, okay, fine, I'll finally like dip my toe back in the water just see how things are these days. With a rental, which is pretty low stakes. And then it's just like this bullshit of like, oh, you gotta fucking download 250 fucking gigabytes worth of shit just for a fucking story mode that should take up like a fraction of that. Like, no, fuck you. Like, not a chance. The only thing at this point that I would ever even think about getting from Activision, I guess, besides maybe some of the Crash games, is maybe if they came out with like how they're doing the Modern Warfare remasters. They did the campaign remaster too, and they did a full remaster of the first one. If they did that for Black Ops 1, I probably still would bite the bullet and grab it. I think that's the only thing that would get me to like grab a fucking Activision Call of Duty game, like in terms of actually buying it. And even then, I feel like just as a fuck you, I would buy it used. Like, you know, because I would love to play the multiplayer again. I did play the multiplayer last year on PS3. It's like still live, but it was only like team deathmatch shit. Like nothing else was alive, which is a shame. And then also it was a shame too because I changed my PlayStation profile name between then and now. It won't save like it lost all my progress from the shit I did because my GD Gypsy isn't in the fucking system, and it won't save any new progress I did, and so it's like pretty fucked. But yeah, I'm clearly time for me to pass out. Activation sucks. Stay hydrated. Hey, thanks for the bits, first of all, and I hope you enjoyed the new visual portion of the of people cheering bits. I that's the first time someone's cheered bits since I added the actual slot machine to the sound alert. The sound alert was always the slot machine music, but now I like recorded the visual component of it from my PlayStation. Like I booted up the game and I like I got a couple coins on a new profile and I just like started up the fucking thing and just recorded the thing, uploaded it to YouTube, grabbed it. That was nice, heck yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm done being pissed off now. I got it out of my system. But yeah, fuck Activision. I'm done streaming. And catch you next time, Peach. Have a good sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep very shortly soon here. I mean, peck, yeah, that's fair. Mother pecker. Catch all you mother peckers later. We're gonna stop streaming. Catch you next time. Do 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 do. Fuck Activision.